All right, you guys, yesterday you read the first half of this poem. Today we are going to finish it. Again, this is called Upon the Burning of Our House, July 10th, 1666. It was written by Anne Bradstreet. Once again, she was a Puritan poet. So you're going to see a lot of those Puritan ideals within her poetry, okay? Let's do this together. All right, stanzas 5 through 6 I chunked together. So it says, here stood that trunk, and there that chest, there lay that store I counted best. My pleasant things in ashes lie, and then behold, no more shall I. Under thy roof no guest shall sit, nor at thy table eat a bit. No pleasant tale shall ever be told, nor things recounted done of old. No candle ever shall shine in there, nor bridegroom's voice ever heard shall be. In silence ever shalt thou lie, adieu, adieu, all's vanity. So remember at the end of yesterday's half, she was talking about how she would go by the site where her home was burned often and just kind of stare at it. So now imagine her staring at the ashes and she's thinking like, oh my gosh, like, oh, my favorite trunk, like my favorite chest used to stand right there, right? And oh, my store that used to be right there. And she's thinking of all like the material things that she used to enjoy. Then as she continues into these stanzas, she starts thinking about like the memories themselves, like kind of expanding it from just the material possessions. So she's saying like, under thy roof no guest shall sit, nor at thy table eat a bit. She's thinking like, we used to host parties here and have such a good time. Like those were such great memories. Never will I hear anyone's voice in that house again. Okay, so that's what she's thinking of. Let's look at number one together. This is kind of a difficult poetic device. This is called polysyndeton. That's the use of coordinating conjunctions. So remember, coordinating conjunctions are a type of connector word. The way we remember those usually is by that acronym FANBOY. So hopefully you remember this from your No Red Ink this week. It goes for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So it's the use of those conjunctions like back to back to back to back. So we are going to highlight, it says in yellow, the conjunctions in these stanzas. So I see an and here. Remember, you just get up to your highlighter tool. Nor is one. Highlight that. Nor. 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 So if you look at how she's using that device, she's using it, right, to emphasize all the things lost in the fire, okay? So remember, those are both material things and kind of just memories as well. Okay, then number two, we're looking at a biblical allusion. I've highlighted that for you, and I've told you where that comes from. So that comes from the Bible, and it's a line that says, all is vanity, meaning that all is temporary and meaningless. So it says, how do you think this allusion provides comfort for the speaker? If you remember yesterday, she was kind of feeling guilty about being sad, about losing all of these things. Hopefully this allusion makes her realize like, it's not a big deal, right? That's just temporary. What's permanent, right, is heaven, okay? So material possessions don't really matter. They are just useless. Okay, so hopefully that kind of provides her a little bit of comfort. All right, number three is asking us to find an example of inversion. Remember, that's when you just swap the order of the line. Usually poets do that in order to keep like their rhyme scheme or their rhythm. So yesterday you saw an example when it said, when rest I took, we would say I took rest, okay? We would actually say nap, but I took nap, not nap I took, okay? So let's try to find an example here. Okay. I see an example right here. And then behold, no more shall I. Right? We would, got carried away there, sorry. We would say, right, I would not hold them anymore. Okay, so that's how we would say it. Again, you just flip-flop it because you want to keep the rhyme. So she wanted to end with an I to make it rhyme with lie. If you remember from yesterday, we are composing this poem up of couplets. Those are two lines back to back that rhyme. So if you notice, chest rhymes with best, then lie rhymes with I, sit rhymes with bit, and so on and so on and so on. Okay? All right, let's move on to stanza 7. Then straight again my heart to chide, and did thy wealth on earth abide? Didst fix thy hope on mouldering dust, the arm of flesh did make thy trust? Raise up thy thoughts above the sky, that dunghill mist away may fly. So if you look at number 4, right, we see this word chide in the first line of stanza 7. Chide means to scold. It says, why is she scolding her heart in this stanza? Again, think back to her internal conflict from yesterday, right? She's mad at herself for being sad about losing material possessions, right? She knows like that's not a good Christian quality to care so much about a chest for a candlestick, right? You should care more about doing good, being good people, etc. Okay. Notice, I just hope you notice this whenever you were reading this. She says, raise up thy thoughts above the sky. Remember, think, who's above up the sky in heaven? That's God. So when she's having these feelings and she's feeling this distress, she's looking to God for comfort. Again, that's a very Puritan thing to do. All right. Number 5 says, highlight the rhetorical questions in this stanza. If you remember, rhetorical questions are easy to find because there's a question mark, but those are just questions that you don't expect an answer to. So she's kind of asking herself these. And did thy wealth on earth abide? Didst fix thy hope on moldering dust? The arm of flesh did make thy trust. She's asking, like, what did all of those possessions do to you? Like what did they provide to you, if anything, right? So the theme, remember, if you remember from week 1, a theme is the lesson of the story. So the theme she's trying to say, right, through these rhetorical devices are material possessions do not matter. Okay, they are not important. And that's the theme she's trying to get to. All right, we have 2 more stanzas. Stanza 8. Thou hast an house on high erect, framed by that mighty architect, with glory richly furnished, stands permanent though this be fled. It's purchased and paid for too by him who hath enough to do. So this is an extended metaphor. Remember, a metaphor is just a comparison that does not use like or as. An extended metaphor is just when the poet keeps it going for more than just one comparison. So, thou hast a house on high erect. Okay, what might be her house above earth? Try to think what they're comparing that to, right? That would be heaven. Who's the architect? Who designed heaven, right? That would be our God. And then this one where it says it's purchased and paid for too, I helped you out with that one. That's a little bit more of an illusion. Paid for too through Jesus Christ's crucifixion, okay? I do want to point out this line when she says, stands permanent, right? She's talking about that house in heaven that's permanent, that's forever. So when she dies, she lives forever in heaven. She says, though this be fled, right? She's saying this life on earth goes away, is very temporary. So again, that's kind of helping calm her. She's like, this life doesn't matter nearly as much as my forever eternity in heaven. Okay, last stanza, here we go. A price so vast as is unknown, yet by his gift is made thine own. There's wealth enough, I need no more. Farewell, my pelf, farewell, my store. The world no longer let me love, my hope and treasures lie above. We've talked a little bit during our William Bradford piece about this term diction. Diction is a fancy word for author's word choice. So look at pelf. She says, farewell, my pelf. Pelf means wealth gained dishonorably. Why do you think she uses that word? When she's referring to like all of her material possessions. What is she trying to re-emphasize about her earthly possessions? You may also want to think back to the biblical allusion from yesterday where it says like God giveth and God taketh away. Blessed be the Lord. Okay, she's trying to re-emphasize like those possessions that she used to have didn't even belong to her, right? They belong to God. Okay, so again, like you can't be mad at someone if you steal their cell phone and they take it back. That did not belong to you, right? That's kind of the example I use. All right, and then finally, how has her internal conflict been resolved in this last stanza? Again, she says, the world no longer let me love, my hope and treasure lies above, right? She realizes that what matters is eternity in heaven. Okay, and again, she realizes like in order to get to heaven, you must be a good, godly Christian Puritan. Okay, so if you have any questions as you complete yours, again, watch this video. Hopefully that helps, and then you just let me know. Make sure you turn it in. Thanks, guys.